My name is Amit. I work as a data product manager at Lockit Learning. At Rocket Learning, what we do is we work with both the government system as well as parents. In both, our model is similar of creating WhatsApp groups and then sending bite-sized activity videos over there. So for the teacher, it will be what you can do with the children at the Anganwadi center. For parent, it can be what you can do with your kid, because the major reason is awareness, that they are not aware of what all different things that they can do. And 90% of brain development happens by the age of 5, and if a child is not picking up things at that age, then eventually they fall behind in later stages of life. For instance, you'll see that in government classrooms, while the teacher is teaching tables of 1 to 10, kids at the back of the seat don't even know what 1 to even basic digits are. So that's where Rocket Learning comes into picture, recognizing the importance of early childhood education. In edtech, it's very common that you have an app for it. Mostly international companies like Duolingo, or even in India, there are apps. But our target audience is, they have very basic phones with them. And an app, having a user engage on an app, the phones might not support it, and there might be other challenges with the app. It might not run as expected, right, on those phones. So that's why WhatsApp is something that everyone uses. If you go to a rural setting, people are very used to seeing WhatsApp. In fact, they even check stories of other people on WhatsApp. So it's something that they're already doing. And then peer effect, as I told, right, the most important element, that's only possible on WhatsApp groups, and you're actually seeing the people, right? You live in a community. On app, it's not possible. So that's why we've always been on WhatsApp groups. So Glific, it's something that we experimented recently on our parent group, which also had teachers, some teachers. So through our system, we are not really able to gauge what the users want, right? We need to conduct surveys. If you want to do it, go on ground, ask them questions. On Glyphic, we can actually see what question they would ask to a random chatbot on education. Through our WhatsApp groups, we only send them, for example, color recognition, get 5 different color objects in that together, that's your activity. But nowhere we are asking the user what they want to do today, right? It's the same content, that different like learning outcomes, different days. So through Glyphic, the idea was to see what parents want, so that we can build a chatbot that is like really including everything. So Glyphic, we started off as a pilot. um, it helped get a sense of what kind of questions users are asking, and also their behavior pattern. For instance, what time they read the messages, what time they respond to the messages. All of these analytics are easier with Glyphic as of now. So for example, we got to know that users respond to a message within 2 hours of sending them on groups. Previously, this was something that is difficult to say, because a parent can see an activity and respond to it like 3 days, 4 days later. But through Glyphic, if I am sending the Glyphic link to the chatbot at this moment, the moment they opt in, come to the bot, it's mostly 2 hours. So through this, we got to know that yes, within 2 hours, our content is majorly read by the audience. That's where Glyphic comes into picture, to know more about our users. A lot of learnings, to be honest. Like, it's very tough to summarize without a pen and paper. So when we initially started off Glyphic, the responses weren't great. In fact, we observed 3 reasons for users not being able to very proactively use the chatbot. The first was tech savviness. So our target audience is not very tech savvy. So for instance, we'll first send off a question: what kind of activity you're looking for? Is it a classroom activity, or a poem or a story that you want to narrate to the kid, or you want any other policy related question? This is an interactive message. They respond to it, let's say classroom activity. Then the chatbot says, what is your question? That is now linked to the GPT that is within Glyphic. Yeah. Now they again respond with the interactive message. Again, they send a classroom activity. Now the chatbot has the classroom activity as prompt. It sends them some content. So this, I would I am putting it under tech savviness umbrella. So around 50% of the users, they fell into this. Like around 1,000 users we piloted on, around 500 users showed this. Then the second thing was the responses of the bot. They were not as we expected initially. So for example, a very simple use case for parents was the story. So when the chatbot say if you want a story, they would just send the name of their kid. For example, Aryan. They would send Aryan and then expect the chatbot to tell a story. We didn't expect that they would be so choosy in terms of the prompt. Like they would just send Aryan. They won't even send tell me a story about Aryan. They're very short response. Like activity for Anganwadi workers, they would just send 3 years max, and they are expecting an activity for a 3 year. Versus if you give a prompt 3 year children, what should I teach my 3-year-old children for color recognition? The chatbot would give very good responses, which is what we tested on also. But when it went to the field, we realized that they were giving very short prompts. So then we gave more example to the Glific chatbot. We gave the example Aryan and then Aryan. We gave the example of like, and also we gave the instruction that if it's just a one word and it's a name of someone, tell a story. And based on that, the responses did improve. So that was basis that we did see like a lot of users. And the final thing that we got out of the pilot was that Glific, the major way of bringing traffic is through Glific nudges itself. So it's very difficult to get organically people to come over there, because maybe over time we'll get there. But right now, for example, if let's say at 9 a.m. I send a nudge to an Anganwadi worker that your center is about to open and you can conduct any activity. If you want an activity, I can suggest you. You'll get some responses to it. Now, in case of parent, at 9 p.m. you're sending, आपके बच्चे के सोने का समय हो गया है. Do you want a story for your kid? For example, Swati or animals की कहानी. So then they would give this prompt, Smriti or animals की कहानी, and it would give you that story. So basis that, we were able to bring around 30% users who were not active, like only had used it once. So 30% of those users came back. But then again, in order to re-engage, again you have to give such nudges. So this is one habit building thing that we are trying to figure out how we can incorporate this. But I think the primary mode would be keep on nudging. Thing that we are thinking these days only after doing the pilot, because the first pilot completed from October to November, and then it was year end, so we are all like focusing on different things. And then in January we again thought that how to take things forward. So we have other products, right? As I told you, we have group based WhatsApp already in place. Sometimes we send them reminder nudges that goes one-on-one, so that's another phone number that's interacting with them, so it becomes a bit confusing. So we are trying that the chatbot speaks with our existing products. So for example, in Anganwadi groups, we give them certificates, we give them medals in order to keep them engaged. They might have questions about what these certificates are, how do I get them, I did not receive the certificate for this month. So we're trying to teach the chatbot on this knowledge base, on these FAQs, and through this we are expecting to increase the engagement on our primary products, which is the WhatsApp groups. And another example is, let's say at 12 p.m. In the noon, the Anganwadi center closes. So we can send them another nudge that did you perform the activity with the kids or not? A simple yes or no. If they send yes, great. We won't ask them to send an image, because image they are supposed to send on the group. But it's again a good reminder to, in case they forgot. So that's the future that we are envisioning. We have around 150,000 Anganwadi workers. So nudging them through this. The advantage of Glific over other services is that you can create flows, you can integrate GPT,